The 2026 MVP race is officially getting out of hand. Yes, we have our usual suspects of SGA, Jokic, Luka, who are putting up historic seasons once again, but there's also a couple sleeper contenders that have a really high chance of winning, maybe even more than you guys would think. All right, let's start with SGA. He's one of the top contenders right now to win MVP for a back-to-back year. He won last year, and let's go ahead and dive in and see what he's doing this season. SGA is averaging 32 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game on 55% shooting from the field, 39% from three. Oh my gosh, 67% true shooting. This is absolutely ridiculous, along with the steal per game. And yes, those numbers are absolutely insane, but another huge helping piece for SGA's case for MVP is the Thunder being the 1 seed. As we know, the voters like to give players awards that are on really good teams. So them being the 1 seed definitely helps out SGA's case here. And they're not only just the 1 seed, they're first in offense, first in defense. Just look at these stats, see all those trophies. They're top 3 in so many different categories. This is going to be super critical for the MVP race when talking about SGA. And while a lot of people think it might be dumb to bring in team stats into an MVP race, I think this is one of the reasons why SGA won last year. Jokic put up an historical season, almost averaging a 30-point triple-double. And while yes, Shea had great stats, the Thunder winning 68 games, I believe, was a main factor in why SGA won the MVP. Another thing helping out SGA is going to be the 65 game rule. He's barely missed any games this season. He's played 47 games, so he's almost at 65 games already. And as you're going to see, a lot of the competition that Shea has, especially at the top of the ladder, they have some issues with the 65 game rule. They might not make it. The next player we're going to talk about is Luka Doncic for the Lakers. He's another player that's right in the mix for MVP and has an amazing chance to win. Luka Doncic is averaging 33.7 points per game, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, a steal and a half. Yes, the turnovers are high, but he's also at one of the highest usage rate. And you can see he takes the second most threes in the league, but his true shooting is still over 61%. That means he is still efficient on the floor overall, no matter what, even though he's taking that many threes. Do you think this Luka season is insane? Just look at Luka's last full season on the Mavericks. What? I don't know how he didn't win MVP this year. Holy shit. Look at this stretch of games that Luka is on right now. No, these are not cherry-picked games. These are not his best games of the season. These are back-to-back games. This is what he's been doing this last week. This is going to have him climb the ladder for me. I think this puts him at number 2, maybe number 3 for the MVP. But just look at these numbers. These are MVP-level numbers. There's no question about it. And yes, while the Lakers are only the 5 seed, Luka has been playing absolutely insane. And I don't really know how you can knock him for this team, because the team around him, I made a whole video on it. The team is not built to be around Luka, and Luka is still doing these amazing things. So I think Luka is going to get hurt by his team not being that good for the MVP voting, because the voters like to vote for players on great teams. Yes, we've had players in the past win the MVP award as the 6th seed, but back in those years, we did not have this amount of talent in the league where you have multiple players averaging 33, multiple players averaging triple doubles. It's absolutely insane. So the team success is going to be a tiebreaker in some of these instances. And yes, Luka has played 39 games this season, which puts him on track to reach 65 for the 65 game rule, which means you can only miss 17 games. So he can miss about 10 more games this season and still be eligible for MVP, which is looking great for him. Next, we're going to talk about Nikola Jokic, who in my opinion is the leader for MVP right now. Even though he just came back after missing a bunch of games, what he's been doing this season is simply undeniable. As I'm recording this, Jokic just came back from his injury literally tonight, and he just dropped 31 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals on 72% shooting in 25 minutes. He's 3rd in points, 1st in rebounds, 1st in assists, 1.4 steals per game, 60% from the field, 43% from 3, 71% true shooting on plus minus 9.5 per game. What? We've never seen anything like this. Wait, no, we actually have seen something like this, but it was from Jokic last year. And actually, the numbers he's putting up here, efficiency-wise, are actually a little bit worse than he's doing this season. I think when it comes to straight-up numbers, there's no one better in the league than Nikola Jokic. But for him, one of the biggest things is going to be the team. Obviously, not going to be as good as the Thunder, but they are fighting for the 2 seed right now, which might be enough to sway voters away from that team statistical wins, away from Shea, and back to Jokic. A lot of you guys might be thinking right now, oh my gosh, look at those numbers. The team is the 3 seed fighting for the 2 seed. How could he not win? Well, Jokic is going to be one of the biggest sufferers from the 65-game rule. He's only played 33 games this season. It's pretty much GG's for Jokic. He's already missed 16 games this season. You can only miss 17 games. He can only miss one more game for the entire season. And considering the Nuggets are already a top seed, they might rest him late in the season if their seed is already locked up in the final couple games. And obviously there's back-to-backs. They might want to rest him and help his knee heal up even a little bit more. So I honestly think the chances of Jokic winning MVP this season are extremely low just because of the 65-game rule. But that means other players get to step up and maybe have a chance to join the MVP conversation. Let's go into one of my sleepers to win, Cade Cunningham. Oh my gosh, this guy has been cooking this entire season, and I still feel like he's one of the most underrated players in the league. Cade this season has been averaging 25.3 points per game, 6 rebounds, basically 10 assists per game. And yes, the efficiency is something to be improved, but it's not terrible. But there's another reason why I think Cade is a sleeper to win the award. The Pistons are the 1 seed in the East, and they're going to run away with it. They're already 5 games ahead of the Knicks. And also, I know this is a weak Eastern Conference, but Cade is still seeing the food in front of him and he's eating it. He's taking advantage of the weak Eastern Conference, and being the 1 seed is definitely going to help his case for MVP. And also, Cade has no problems with the 65-game rule, at least for now in the season. He's playing his 41st game right now as I'm recording this, so that could actually help him put himself over other people who can't get the 65-game rule, like Jokic or maybe like Luka. And yes, Cade's numbers do not really stack up against those Jokic's, SGA's, and Luka's, but the 65-game rule might be a reason he wins the MVP. If those players, God forbid, can't stay healthy, Cade is going to be right there to pick up the scraps. And yes, while his averages for the season don't reflect maybe MVP caliber, he has had lots of MVP level performances. And yes, this is cherry-picked stats. This is not like Luka where he just put it up in a week, but these performances still need to be noticed. Cade is still cooking. The next player I want to talk about is Jaylen Brown, who at one point was actually top 3 in the MVP ladder. I think he has now fallen out of it, but it's because he is doing something for the Celtics that nobody expected. With Tatum tearing his Achilles in the playoffs, lots of people thought the Celtics were just going to take a gap year this year until Jaylen Brown started playing like an MVP. He's averaging 30 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game on 48, 35, 77% shooting. Yes, the efficiency is not Jokic or SGA levels, but 30 points per game, this needs to be noticed. And like I said, everybody expected the Celtics to be taking a gap year this year. They just won their 30th game and they're 3rd in the East. They're tied for 2nd in the East. Celtics fans on Reddit were expecting this team to be a play-in team. Oh my goodness, they're the 3 seed tied for the 2 seed right now. And people on their fan base were thinking they were going to be a play-in team. And this is because of Jaylen Brown's production. Another thing about Jaylen Brown is he's played 44 games this season, only behind Shea with everybody that we've looked at so far. And this is huge. This is going to help him climb the ladder late in the season if other players go down with injuries or rest and they don't reach the 65-game quota and Jaylen Brown does. This is going to up his chances at winning the award. It's safe to say that everything we've looked at so far, this MVP race is absolutely ridiculous. Who's going to win? We don't know. Should Jokic win? He's not going to reach 65 games. What if he does? He'll probably win. Luka and SGA is an insane battle. Both are probably going to reach the quota. Both are putting up insane numbers. Who's actually the better player? Is the team going to come into play when voters vote? I think yes. And you also have guys like Cade and Jaylen Brown doing amazing things in the Eastern Conference. Unexpected even. The Pistons being the 1 seed and the Celtics being a top 3 seed. There's just a lot to consider when talking about the MVP this season, and this is one of the highest talents we've ever seen in the NBA. We've never seen this many talented players putting up this many historic stat lines in one season. Maybe last year was the only other time, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Subscribe, like, let me know. Who do you think is going to win MVP? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.